Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we delve into the fascinating tales of the past. Today, we embark on an extraordinary journey through the annals of time, exploring the captivating story of the rise and fall of the Roman Republic. This epic tale is woven from the threads of human ambition, conflict, and transformation, set against the backdrop of the ancient Mediterranean world. As we begin our narrative, let us first set the stage by examining the precursors to this grand drama. The Roman Republic's ascent to power was not a sudden phenomenon, but rather the culmination of centuries of cultural exchange, migration, and conflict in the region. To understand the roots of this remarkable story, we must venture back in time to the Bronze Age city-states of the Levant, where the Phoenician culture emerged around 1500 BCE. It was here that the Phoenicians developed one of their most enduring innovations, the first alphabet. This ingenious system of writing would go on to influence many present-day writing systems, leaving an indelible mark on human communication. By the early first millennium BCE, Phoenician cities such as Tyre and Sidon had established a vast maritime network of trading posts that stretched as far as Iberia, spreading their culture, religion, and language throughout the central and western Mediterranean. The strategic location of these cities allowed them to dominate trade routes, facilitating the exchange of goods, ideas, and technologies across the ancient world. For instance, the Phoenicians introduced the Greeks to the art of purple dye production, which would become a highly prized commodity in the ancient world. One of the most significant Phoenician coastal colonies was Carthage, founded in what is now Tunisia around 814 BCE by Queen Dido, a legendary figure who would shape the destiny of the city. By the 6th century BCE, Carthage had risen to dominate the western Mediterranean, its culturally Phoenician communities becoming known as Punic by the Romans. The Carthaginian Empire would leave its mark on history, particularly through its conflicts with a rising Roman Republic, including the legendary campaign of Hannibal, who dared to cross the Alps with his war elephants, a feat that would be remembered for centuries. The Etruscan civilization, which flourished in what is now modern-day Italy, from the 8th to the 1st century BCE, also played a significant role in shaping the Roman Republic's earliest history. The Etruscans were a mysterious people who made significant contributions to the development of Roman art, architecture, and engineering. They introduced the Romans to the use of arches, vaults, and concrete, which would become hallmark features of Roman construction. Recent studies have shed new light on the genetic history of these ancient Mediterranean civilizations. An international team of researchers, working within the framework of the Max Planck Harvard Research Center for the Archaeoscience of the Ancient Mediterranean, co-directed by Johannes Krauss and Michael McCormick, has presented a groundbreaking study on the subject. This research reveals the intricate web of relationships between the Phoenicians, Carthaginians, Etruscans, and other cultures of the region, providing a fascinating glimpse into the complex tapestry of human migration, cultural exchange, and conflict that shaped the ancient world. As we stand at the threshold of this epic tale, with the Phoenician culture spreading its influence across the Mediterranean and the Carthaginian Empire poised to clash with the rising Roman Republic, we find ourselves on the cusp of a new era. The stage is set for the emergence of Rome as a major power, and the events that will unfold will be nothing short of spectacular. Join me as we venture forth into the heart of this captivating story and uncover the secrets that lie hidden within the annals of the rise and fall of the Roman Republic. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we continue our extraordinary journey through the annals of time, exploring the captivating story of the rise and fall of the Roman Republic. As we now venture forth into the heart of this captivating story, we find ourselves in the 3rd century BCE, a time when Rome was poised to emerge as a major power. The city had already undergone significant transformations, including the expulsion of its last king, Lucius Tarquinius Superbus, and the establishment of the Roman Republic in 509 BCE. This marked the beginning of a new era, one that would be characterized by a system of governance based on the principles of liberty, representation, and the rule of law. One of the most significant events of this period was the construction of the Appian Way, a monumental road that connected Rome to Capua, a major city in southern Italy. This engineering marvel, built in 312 BCE, not only facilitated trade and commerce, but also served as a symbol of Roman power and ingenuity. The Appian Way was just one example of the many impressive infrastructure projects undertaken by the Romans during this time, including the construction of aqueducts, bridges, and public buildings. As Rome's influence expanded, so did its conflicts with neighboring states. The Pyrrhic War, fought between 280 and 275 BCE, was a pivotal moment in Roman history, as it marked the first major clash between Rome and the Hellenistic kingdoms of the eastern Mediterranean. Although the war was sparked by the invasion of Italy by King Pyrrhus of Epirus, it ultimately ended with the defeat of the Greeks and the consolidation of Roman power in southern Italy. The 3rd century BCE also saw significant cultural and intellectual developments in Rome. The city became a hub for Greek scholars, poets, and philosophers who were drawn to its wealth and patronage. One notable example is the poet Livius Andronicus, who translated Homer's epics into Latin, laying the foundations for Roman literature. The Romans also adopted many Greek artistic and architectural styles, which they adapted to create their own unique aesthetic. The Punic Wars, a series of conflicts fought between Rome and Carthage from 264 to 116 BCE, were a defining feature of this period. These wars not only showcased Roman military prowess, but also had a profound impact on the development of Roman society and politics. The First Punic War, fought from 264 to 241 BCE, saw the Romans emerge victorious, having developed a new type of warship, the corvus, which allowed them to challenge Carthage's naval superiority. The Second Punic War, fought from 2118 to 2000 BCE, was marked by Hannibal's legendary campaign, in which he crossed the Alps with his war elephants and won several major victories against the Romans. However, ultimately, the Romans emerged victorious, having developed a new strategy of delay and attrition, which wore down the Carthaginian army. The Third Punic War, fought from 149 to 146 BCE, ended with the destruction of Carthage and the enslavement of its population, marking the end of the Punic Wars and cementing Roman dominance over the Mediterranean. As we reach the midpoint of our journey through the history of the Roman Republic, we find ourselves in awe of the remarkable achievements of this ancient civilization. From the construction of monumental infrastructure projects to the development of a unique cultural and intellectual identity, the Romans had truly established themselves as a major power. And yet, despite their many accomplishments, the Romans faced numerous challenges, including internal conflicts, external threats, and the ever-present danger of corruption and decay. Join me as we continue our journey through the captivating story of the rise and fall of the Roman Republic and uncover the secrets that lie hidden within the annals of history. Welcome back to our journey through the history of the Roman Republic. We also examined the significant events that shaped this period, such as the Pyrrhic War and the Punic Wars. As we now venture into the late Republic, we find ourselves in a world of intense political and social upheaval. The 2nd century BCE saw the rise of the equestrian order, a class of wealthy businessmen and landowners who would play a significant role in shaping Roman politics and society. The equestrians were instrumental in financing Roman military campaigns and providing logistical support for the legions, but they also became increasingly influential in Roman politics, often at the expense of the traditional patrician aristocracy. One of the most significant events of this period was the Gracchan reforms, a series of attempts to address the growing social and economic inequalities in Rome. The brothers, Tiberius and Gaius Gracchus, both prominent politicians and members of the plebeian class, sought to redistribute land from wealthy patricians to small farmers and to limit the power of the equestrian order. Their efforts were met with fierce resistance from the patrician aristocracy, who saw the Gracchan reforms as a threat to their power and privilege. The late Republic also saw the rise of the great Roman generals, such as Julius Caesar and Pompey the Great. These men would play a significant role in shaping Roman history, but they also contributed to the instability and chaos that characterized this period. The rivalry between Caesar and Pompey ultimately led to the outbreak of civil war, which would have far-reaching consequences for Rome and its people. As we explore the complexities of Roman politics and society during this period, it is essential to examine the impact of slavery on the Roman economy and culture. Slaves played a crucial role in Roman agriculture, industry, and domestic life, but they were also treated with brutal cruelty and disregard. The institution of slavery was a fundamental aspect of Roman society, and its legacy would continue to shape Roman history for centuries to come. As we continue our journey through history, we are reminded that the study of the past is not simply a matter of recalling dates and events, but rather an opportunity to gain insights into the human condition and to learn from the triumphs and failures of those who came before us. In the words of the great Roman historian Cicero, Historia magistra vitae est, history is the teacher of life. As we explore the complexities of Roman history, we are reminded that the lessons of the past continue to shape our present and inform our future. Join me next time as we continue our journey through the captivating story of the rise and fall of the Roman Republic. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And, until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.